Some people graduate at 22 and can't get a job for years. Some drop out and make millions. Some find love at 18, but divorce at 25. Others meet the right person at 40 and stay together forever. Life isn't a race. It's a badly timed group project where everyone turns in their work at different times. So why are you stressing about it? Because somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that life has a script, that by 25, you should have your career figured out. By 30, you should be married. By 35, you should own a house. And if you're not hitting those milestones, game over. But let me ask you, who wrote this script? Is it society? Is it your parents? Is it that random person on Instagram who posts rise and grind at 5 a.m. but still lives with their mom? See, the problem isn't that you're behind. It's that you're comparing your timeline to people who aren't even running the same race. Some people start with generational wealth. Some have connections. Some had to fight tooth and nail just to get a basic education. You are not them. They are not you. So why should your timelines look the same? And the people you think are ahead, a lot of them feel lost too. The ones with the perfect jobs, some go to bed dreading the next morning. The ones in relationships, some are staying just because it's comfortable, not because it's right. The ones with money, some are barely holding it together. You don't see their struggles. You just see the version they choose to show. And the worst part is that you spend so much time thinking you're behind that you don't even appreciate where you are anymore. You could be in the middle of the best years of your life, but instead of living it, you're too busy keeping score in a game that doesn't even have a finish line. Think about it. How many moments have you ruined just because you were too focused on where you should be instead of where you are? How many times have you scrolled through social media, seen someone else's success, and suddenly felt like everything you've done means nothing? That's not progress, honey. That's self-sabotage. And for what? So you can chase someone else's definition of success? So you can hit milestones that don't even make you happy? Look, if a path doesn't excite you, if it doesn't feel right in your gut, then it's not your path. You are not behind. You're just not on their timeline. And that's a good thing. So what if instead of obsessing over where you should be, you actually started focusing on where you want to go? What if you stopped measuring your life by someone else's checklist and actually asked yourself, what do I even want? The timeline you're stressing over? It was never yours to begin with. It was handed to you. By society, by expectations, by people who aren't even living the kind of life you want. But you're the one who gets to decide what your version of success looks like, not a blueprint made for someone else. And let's be honest, plenty of people who followed the perfect timeline still end up feeling lost. Some land their dream job only to realize it drains them. Some get married only to feel stuck. Some buy a house only to wonder why it doesn't feel like home. They spent years checking all the right boxes, but never stopped to ask if those boxes were even meant for them. Look at it this way. What if you stopped running on autopilot? What if you let go of the idea that you're late and started moving at a pace that actually feels right for you? The moment you do that, you're no longer behind. You're finally in control. And the best part is that once you stop chasing someone else's timeline, life actually starts feeling like yours. You stop making decisions out of fear. You stop rushing just because everyone else is. You start moving with intention, doing things because they make sense for you, not because you're trying to keep up. But okay, let's be honest. This mindset shift doesn't happen overnight. It's hard to unlearn years of conditioning that told you success had a deadline, that if you weren't ahead, you were behind, that if you weren't moving fast, you were failing. So let's discuss it. Who even decided what ahead and behind mean? Who made those rules? Think about how different your life would be if you grew up in a completely different country, culture, or environment. The expectations would be entirely different. Your timeline would look nothing like the one you're stressing over right now. That should tell you something. The pressure you feel right now, it's not universal truth. It's just a set of expectations that someone made up. And you have every right to step back and say, wait, do I even want this? And look, there's no denying that some things in life do run on a clock. Some careers have age limits. Some opportunities come and go. But guess what? So do people. So do interests. So does the entire economy. The world is constantly shifting, which means the idea of a perfect timeline is an illusion. What matters isn't whether you hit some arbitrary milestone. It's whether you're adaptable enough to keep going, no matter where you are. Some people find their passion at 18. Others find it at 40. Some hit their stride early. Others take their time. Neither one is better. The only thing that matters is that you're building a life that actually feels right. The one that makes you proud, not just one that looks good on the outside. And if that means taking longer, pivoting, or figuring things out as you go, so be it. Progress isn't measured by how fast you get there. It's measured by whether you're actually going where you want to go. So take a breath. You're not late. You're not behind. You're just on a different timeline. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be. And if you still think you're behind, look at some of the people who proved that timelines are meaningless. Vera Wang didn't design her first wedding dress until she was 40. Before that, she was a figure skater and journalist. If she had panicked about being too late, she wouldn't have built a fashion empire. Samuel L. Jackson? He spent years struggling with addiction and playing minor roles before Pulp Fiction changed everything for him at 46. Now, he's one of the highest-grossing actors of all time. Steve Carell? He spent his 20s and 30s bouncing between small gigs, barely making a name for himself. Then, at 43, The Office happened, and suddenly, he was a household name. Morgan Freeman? He was 50 when Hollywood finally took him seriously. Before that, he was just another struggling actor, trying to break through in an industry obsessed with youth. Now, ask yourself, what if they had looked around at 25, 30, 35, and thought, maybe I missed my chance? What if they had let self-doubt convince them to give up? You probably wouldn't even know their names. Now, here's something worth contemplating. Timing isn't the factor that makes people successful. It's persistence. It's being willing to keep going, even when you feel lost. It's having the courage to not rush just because everyone else is. And if you want a real deep dive into what it looks like to be at rock bottom and still turn everything around, check out our video on J.K. Rowling's story. She went from broke, depressed, and rejected by 12 publishers to creating Harry Potter. If anyone had a reason to believe she was too late, it was her. But she didn't stop. She kept writing. She kept believing. And now, she's proof that your story isn't over just because it's taking longer than expected. The link's in the description. You don't want to miss that one. Because the truth is, life doesn't give out awards for rushing to the finish line. No one's going to stand up at your funeral and say, wow, they hit every milestone right on time. What matters isn't when you do something, it's that you do it at all. And if the only reason you're stressing about being behind is because of some imaginary deadline someone else made up, maybe it's time to stop playing by their rules. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna keep measuring your life with someone else's ruler? Keep running a race you don't even remember signing up for? Keep letting a made-up deadline decide what you're worth? Because nobody actually cares if you're on time. Nobody is tracking your progress like you think they are. You're the only one keeping score. The world doesn't stop spinning just because you haven't made it yet. No one's standing at the finish line, handing out gold stars to the people who got there first. The only thing that actually matters is that you build a life that feels right to you. You can spend years trying to catch up to people who aren't even going where you want to go. Or you can finally drop the weight of all that pressure and start moving on your terms. Because at the end of the day, being behind is just an illusion. The only timeline that matters is the one you choose to live by. So tell me, if you knew your timeline was yours to create, what would you do differently starting today? Anyway, I'm done yapping. If you want more of this, hit like so I know you actually enjoy me running my mouth. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and have an existential crisis in silence. Your call. And subscribe for more wake-up calls.